All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is evidence found that man was not the first being to master fire. Okay. I think maybe modern man, I'm going to go ahead and still forecast it's not going to be like a giraffe, bro, right? I'm going to go ahead and forecast just a different species of something that is related to us, basically. That's where I'm going to sit. But let's see where this takes us, guys.
This morning, we are learning about a momentous discovery that could overturn our understanding of human history. The discovery was made by researchers studying our pre-human ancestors in an area of South Africa known as the cradle of humankind. They now believe those ancestors may have had a head start in using fire as a tool. Deborah Pata shows us why that is so important.
Sometimes you just have to go upside down and turn around to see what's been right in front of you all along.
You don't make it.
No, don't do that. I mean, listen, for history, science, I get that, right? Go ahead and live your best life down that hole that you probably can't breathe in, right? But I'm going to forecast they're going to be incredibly filthy.
Looks simple.
That's renowned paleoanthropologist Lee Berger talking to an orange-clad team member hanging upside down in the Rising Star Caves just outside Johannesburg. Dubbed underground astronauts, they've made a profound discovery.
We're in the tunnel.
Turns out humans are not so special after all.
Just because we've been by it 100 times,
And where they were like really
doesn't mean
small?
we've seen it.
Nearly 10 years ago, Berger and his team first discovered a new species here, Homo naledi, one of our non-human ancestors.
Great work.
Homo what?
Beautiful.
He drew sharp criticism for hypothesizing that the creature was deliberately placing its dead in a dark and dangerous underground chamber that no one believed was possible to navigate.
Okay, I've heard of this. I've heard of this specific thing. There was something like us, but not us, right? In fact, burying people underneath the ground. I'm looking at images right now of what they're speculating it was. It's an odd one, guys. About 335,000 years ago. Homo naledi. All right, guys. Super intriguing.
Navigate without light.
And the reason they didn't believe it was because Homo naledi, with its tiny little brain, just bigger than a chimpanzee, couldn't have had fire.
The controlled use of fire was supposedly unique to humans. And for nearly a decade, his team found no evidence Homo naledi had used fire.
Well done, guys.
Until Berger lost over 50 pounds so that he could squeeze through those narrow corridors himself for the very first time in August.
My shoulder's through.
It was torture
Oh,
all
wow.
the way down.
Into the first chamber.
Exhausted, he finally reached the bottom.
Okay.
And I looked up, and I realized
Scorch
the ceiling
marks?
was black. It was burnt. It was covered in soot. It had been right above our heads the entire time.
But you were looking down all the
But
time.
we're always looking down.
Undeniable evidence of fire. On that very same day, his lead investigator, paleoanthropologist Kanilwe Molopiani, was making another remarkable find nearby.
And then pieces of bone start coming out.
do you have?
Burnt bone. And I'm just like,
Burnt
okay.
bones.
All right, I can't ignore it anymore.
Okay, so either they were burying people, burning not people. They were burying them. They were burning, basically cremating. Is what it sounds like, or they were eating them.
Right? Because as an archaeologist, you have to follow the evidence.
Burnt bones.
Guys,
They were eating there.
After that, they saw fire everywhere.
And I suspect, based on what we're seeing, they're not just carrying fire. I think they're making it.
They're manufacturing.
They're manufacturing fire. And it's done hundreds of thousands of years, perhaps, before maybe humans were doing it.
Berger believes this discovery will challenge our assumptions about human uniqueness.
And it should give us pause. It should make us think deeply about the way we have placed ourselves on a pedestal as something special.
I mean, we are currently, though. We are excessively special compared to basically everything else, right? I mean, we build things like large scale. There's no other being on Earth that builds things large scale. I'm not trying to take away from, what dolphins specifically and certain species of whales are able to kind of do, right? I'm not trying to take away from that at all, right? But we are special, guys. I'm not just saying that because we're human here. Okay, I'm just saying we are special. I haven't seen, a dolphin go into space, or maybe they just don't care to go into space. Maybe eventually, in time, they will in fact care about going to space and creating things. I guess, potentially, right? But all right.
Because Homo naledi began to prove that it may have happened many times in the past.
We are arrogant as humans, though, because we think we're superior.
I mean, one of the reasons that humans are so harmful to the environment, to this world, is because we think we have some ownership of it.
For Molopiani, it's not just about a groundbreaking discovery.
For a very long time, archaeology and paleoanthropology, all these discoveries made in Africa have been made by men. Mostly
White men,
yeah. That is when we start taking back the narrative as Africans, and we get to tell the stories now.
There's Mirapay.
And that narrative starts with the understanding that we are not just part of a complex now, there has been a complex past as well.
Now listen, I like what she said here, right? But I want to go ahead and point out, sure, do your things. Your country, specifically your country on the continent of Africa, do your thing, right? But you cannot stop outside money or progress, okay? And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because, guys, there's an Egyptologist in Egypt who is absolutely despicable, okay? He hates the fact that there are people coming from outside of Egypt studying things and finding things. All right. He thinks that literally the head Egyptologist of Egypt right now says, if I can't find it, then I don't want you to find it. Like a child, a petulant child. Bro, you don't have the budget for that. All right. There are people coming from outside of Egypt specifically with gigantic money. All right. Enough to do things that the Egyptologist would love to do, but he cannot do because they cannot afford to do it. Okay, so under no circumstance, I get what you're saying here. Just do not stop progress. Do not.
We just never saw it because all this time we've been looking down instead of looking up. For CBS Mornings, Deborah Patter, Cradle of Humankind, South Africa.
What a fascinating story.
Just a mind-blowing story. That scientist who lost 50 pounds so he could get down, shimmy into that little cave, and then he looks up and he sees that there's fire evidence on the ceiling.
To understand.
But that's dedication, Lucy.
Dedication. That's whatever motivates you, right?
Yes.
Just to understand human evolution, to understand that as we all originated from this cradle of civilization in Africa, from the very first proto-human Australopithecus afarensis to these new discoveries that they're finding is remarkable.
Okay, Mr. Scientist over there.
Yes, I know.
What was that?
He's right. I would say probably most people can probably tie. Let's go back way back, like 175,000 years ago. I would say, no, that's too far back. Let's say like 100,000 years ago, or around there at least. I think most modern humans could probably trace their bloodline way back to like the Khoisan, specifically coming from South Africa. I think East Coast South Africa, the tribe. Check them out, guys. They are absolutely intriguing. For some reason, it's like everybody on Earth has something of them, something, right? But either way, guys, brilliant to encounter. Doesn't surprise me. In fact, it does, because again, we're humans, and I think that we are the end all be all, if that makes any sense, guys. In fact, I think so. Why would they have fire, bro? We can have fire? How do you have fire? All right, but either way, listen, respect. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day. Thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.